literally one of the biggest DJs in the game. He is the mixtape king of the Delta.
B-Fi Dub presents DJ Kurgo. It's your girlfriend's favorite DJ, Mr. Mixtape himself, DJ Kurgo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. That's right. I'm back, man, with another version, another show. This is DJ Kurgo Show. What's happening? Let's switch this music up a little bit. So I'm not even gonna talk. Like, I'm just gonna get right into it. This my god sister. This is a young lady who felt the need to tell her side of the story, and we're gonna go ahead and let her tell her side of the story. It's a lot of controversy going on, and people kind of playing, back and forth on Facebook, retaliation type stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and allow her to tell her story. This is the interview with Keisha. She's gonna go ahead and tell her side of the story. DJ Kurgo Show, Lego. Miss Cassie, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Well, you know why you're here, so let me just give a quick background rundown, and then you can kind of have your way in it. All right. So, as we can see on Facebook today, you were irate, and you were basically placed that way. Somebody put you in that situation, and you've been going through.
Was I irate?
You held your own, but I know you, my buddy. So here's your chance. Because everybody got their opinion on Facebook, and everybody sit behind keyboards and kind of do their own thing and be what they call keyboard gangsters or whatever the case may be. But you have decided to come on the Kurgo Show and air out your situation. Now, here's the deal. You have the floor. I will ask questions, but you can call names or you cannot call names. This is totally on you. All right.
Okay.
So,
well, due to the court is involved, I can't call names. Certain names I will call, certain names I won't, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And that's great. I respect that, man. So, why the calmness? And then, what set you off? Point blank period. What set you off?
Okay. Well, let me start from the beginning so you can get the whole story and kind of understand where I'm coming from. Okay, let's see, where do I start? Maybe about 2 weeks ago, Jace got sick again. He had pneumonia, and I took him to the doctor. Well, I had my mom because me and his father do not see eye to eye. We do not get along, so there are points in time when we have to have a mediator. So most of the time, my mediator is going to be my mom because everybody knows, she works out there with him. So there was some medicine that he had given him the one time he kept him for me when I had to move into my house in Houston. So I asked my mom to ask him how much, of the medicine that he was giving him to help him, with the congestion and everything. Well, once my mom went over there to ask him that is when he called me. But mind you not, okay, the only way he'll call or check on Jay is he has to be sick. That's the only way he'll call and check on him. So, okay, I could be one of those people that, hold that against him and be like, well, since he want to act like that, I'm not going to, talk to him or answer his phone calls or anything like that. But I don't. When he calls against my better judgment, I picked up the phone. So, we had a conversation, and, when he asked to speak to Jace, I don't talk bad about him around Jace, and Jace is young, but he's smart, and he picks up on things. So, when he got on the phone, Jace was like, hey, Dad. So, I guess maybe that made him feel some type of way, or should I say guilty. So he decided to, started calling him and everything. Hold on.
She just put me on hold. You on the DJ Cargo show, and she just put me on hold. What kind of baby back bull? Shout out to Dewana. What kind of mess? Okay.
So, he started calling. I would answer the phone and everything, and then Jace talked to him. And, whatever I phone, called for, it was all about Jace. Nothing more, nothing less. So, okay, Jace goes to school. They're going to be out for 2 weeks, and I still have to work. So, my mom would have to take 2 weeks off, 2 whole weeks off. I asked him, I was like, okay, well, do you have any plans? Because so my mom won't have to take off 2 weeks. I need you to keep him for a week, until she can take off. Okay, that's fine. This is what he said. That's fine. I don't have anything planned. So I was like, okay, cool. So, he was still calling and check on him and everything, and I would let him talk. Well, one particular day he called and was like, he asked me, when did you say, Jace got out of school and when you wanted me to keep him? I was like, well, he get out of school on the 18th. Well, my sister wanted us to come to Colorado for Christmas. And, I know I told you that I ain't have any plans, but she want us to come out there for Christmas. I was like, okay, so Jace can't go with you? So he got quiet. So then he was like, nah, because we flying. Well, Jace is on the one. Jace fly for free. Okay, so, I'm about to get hot. Jace was looking at me or whatever. So I was like, well, I went on, got the phone, but before I got the phone, I was like, well, I'll figure out something. So, I let Jace finish talking to him, and then I was like, okay, and we're back. So, instead of clowning in front of my baby with him, I sent him a message, and I was like, okay, again, you put my baby on the back burner, and what if, after I called my mom, and she was like, well, we'll figure something out. What if I didn't have that support? Then, me, well, not necessarily me, but, Jace would be up the creek because, they're going to force me to miss days off of work, and I'm just really getting this job, and, I can't afford to take 2 weeks or a week out at a time off of work like this. So, okay, well, no response. He never responded back. He never tried to explain. Just silent. Well, I have a friend that, has kind of stepped in and helped me out, which goes back to the beginning. When he first, when I first met Gerald, when I first told him I was pregnant, to do what he had to do for his family and let me do what I have to do for my son. But at that point in time, he was like, well, you gonna move on with somebody else and with my child, and I ain't gonna have nothing. But, when my baby get here, it's a whole different story. You went a year without having anything to do with him. You tried to cheat him out of his money by turning in a false salary for child support. You do all these different things for my child, against my child, when I asked you in the beginning and told you, go on and do what you got to do for your family and let me do what I have to do for my son. But anywho, fast forward to what set me off today. Okay, well, this person that I deal with, they've been going back and forth because the dude been calling him out on the bullshit that he does towards Jay.
Hold on. I got a letter.
Okay.
The letter say, Dear DJ Cargo, so Keisha Casson got somebody she deal with? The letter said, Dear DJ Cargo, so Keisha Casson got somebody that she deal with?
Yeah.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Not deal with like that, but we were involved at one point a long time ago.
Okay,
and
so
we just always remained cool over there. But since we were so cool, he was willing to step in because of the situation.
So that's not a boyfriend.
No, it's not a boyfriend.
Hold on, I got another letter. This letter. Okay, it said, "Dear DJ Cargo, I listen to your show all the time. Ask Keisha, is she currently seeing anybody?"
Yes, I am.
Hold on. It says thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, like I said, it might have been some harsh choice words of what I said to him initially, but it's fun. So, okay. I'm trying to see, did my friend send him something before I called him or after I called him? I don't know. But anywho, I tried to have a grown-up conversation with him. And, I asked him, my first initial question to him was, do you think you have done right as far as, what you said you was going to do in the beginning as far as being a good father towards your son? Complete silence. He didn't say a word. So I was like, well, I guess I can take that as a yes. So, he eventually said, well, it's been on and off. So my question to him was, okay, well, if it's been on and off, is that fair to Jace? You know what I'm saying? What do you think you need to do about this? I've asked you to sign over your rights. You won't do that, but yet still, when it comes to you making a decision that's in the best interest for him, you always put him on the back burner. So, he really didn't address that. So then, I approached him about our last argument and was like, okay, well, did you not tell me that you didn't have anything planned? Well, I know I said I ain't have anything planned, but something came up. I said, okay, so let me ask you this. Your son can't go with you? Well, he can't go anywhere with us.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, say that. Whoa, repeat that. He said what?
He can't go anywhere with us. He can't go with us.
So you're telling me the words that came out of his mouth when you asked could his son go with him, the word that came out of his mouth was, my son, basically saying, my son cannot go with us.
No,
Whoa. Did he say why?
Okay, before I snap, crackle, and pop, I asked him, well, why can't he go anywhere with you or with y'all? His response to me was, I don't have to explain anything to you.
Whoa. So he kind of snapped out.
Yeah, the conversation went there. And, I got to call him all kind of cowards and everything else but the child of God. So he hung up the phone in my face.
Lord. Did you go to church Sunday? Did you go to church yesterday?
He still never explained why Jace said he has a DNA test that says Jace is his. Jace, that he filed a petition against me for visitation rights as if I have ever denied him of visitation rights. Because before I moved to Houston, me and Jay stayed right down the street from him. He didn't call us to see him or anything. He would see Jay to be less than 50 feet away from him, would not say a word. Nothing.
Whoa.
I've been out there to see my mama. He would pass. My mama be holding Jay. He would walk right by my mama and would not acknowledge my baby. But when I moved to Houston, I get an email saying, I just found out you moved to Houston. I think Jay should stay here with me. But he failed to mention that he had already filed a petition against me for visitation rights. But like I said, once again, I don't know why, because I never denied him of any visitation rights. As a matter of fact, I went and got a petition done for $25 that gave him visitation with Jace when I lived in Mississippi. The standard court order for any parent, it gave him every other weekend. he told me that the petition or the court order that I had, done was for me. Now listen to this now. How is the court order, how was it for me when he gave you everything that you did? He asked me for visitation rights. That's what the court order said. Every other weekend now. The court order asked for a $75,000 life policy for him to make Jace the beneficiary. Well, the one that he got done and we signed off on is for $100,000. So what sense did that make right there? The other provision in the court order that I had drawn up, it only said for him to pay the child support and add him on his medical insurance, which that's what the child support order already said. We had already signed off on it. So how was the court order that I got drawn up strictly for me and against him when they basically said the same thing?
Do you think, and this is just me asking you a question, do you think that what he's doing is more of trying to control what you got going or trying to control kind of your life? Do you think that?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think that it's about, what I got going on or controlling my life, because we both have moved on from it. But I think it's more so it's just that he's a coward. He has no control in his home, and he has to do what he has to do to keep his home happy. But at the meantime, that put, it mistreats my baby. It put my baby at a disadvantage, because when he gets older and he starts, wanting to know answers to these questions, I mean, that's something that I got to deal with. That's something that I'm going to have to explain.
Hey, yo.
And,
I know we're on the phone with my sister right now.
Okay, well, why do you do
but
this?
this a bomb soundtrack in the background. I just want to point that out. She don't know what's going on. DJ
Well, like I said, when you get old enough to ask questions, then who you going to ask? Who got to answer those questions? Who is he going to ask those questions to first? Just like, okay, the deal in the beginning. Now, like I said, the person that I was dealing with was willing to go on and sign the acknowledgement of paternity papers, because he was getting ready to go overseas, and he wasn't going to be there when I had the baby. Jay's daddy was totally against it. Okay, well, I respected it. The agreement was you sign the birth certificate, and then Jace doesn't have to go in your last name. He can go in my last name, but I just want something, a legal document saying that you're his father in case something happens. Well, in the beginning, it was, okay, well, this mister, you don't have him to do something like that, but I'm going to sign the birth certificate. Well, that 9th month came. I got a text message, you going to put Jace in my last name? And I was like, well, I mean, I wasn't planning on, but, I just want you to sign the birth certificate. Well, I don't think that it's right that he should have my last name. Then, okay, well, even though I wasn't going to put him in his last name anyway, that wasn't my plan, it still was a slap in the face for him to say his son shouldn't have his last name. Okay, well, we battled it out about that, but we came to an agreement what I thought we did about him just signing the birth certificate. Well, Jace get here. Well, I'm not going to sign the birth certificate because she said, that's going to be disrespectful to her. Okay, well, if you knew that was going to be disrespectful to, your wife, then when I had the person to sign the birth certificate, then you should have let it stay that way. That was my issue with that, but you know what I'm saying, and at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, what we gonna do about, any legal documentation that Jace is yours? So, to satisfy both sides, he wanted to go put child support on himself, but he never went up there to file the papers. So I went on and did it myself. Okay, well,
typical.
This was the agreement then. You don't have to turn in any of your other income. Just turn in the main income at the sheriff department, and we can just get the child support from them. I think the agreement was like $200 every 2 weeks. Well, when I get called up there, when the lawyer called me, he turned in a fake salary. But of course, they're not going to admit to that because, it's a federal offense. And I'm like, really? You going to cheat your own baby? But, this is everything. This is why, people don't see or understand why I'm just either being confrontational, as you say, or, I might...
Yeah, confrontation is my word.
Because I'm fed up. I'm just fed up with how my son being mistreated when I asked you in the beginning and told you to go on and do what you have to do for your family and just let me deal with this on my own. Because as you can see, Jace is loved, and I knew that from the beginning. I knew that wasn't going to be an issue, and that's why I didn't have a problem with telling him to go on and do what you got to do for your family. But back then it was, well, you going to move on with somebody else with my baby. You going to do this. Well,
which goes back to my question about control.
If you had a baby, then we ain't going to be together. We weren't together then.
But that goes back to my question about him trying to control you, though. That he's worried. Do you think that he's worried about you doing other stuff with other people, being with somebody else, and this is his way to control you? That's the question that I had. Because if you're saying that his concern, that he said his concern is you will move and be with somebody else with my baby, then that really ain't got nothing to do with your baby. It's got more to do with you being with somebody else. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, to be honest, in my opinion back then, I'm thinking that he was just saying the first thing he could to try to convince me not to have the baby. So, you know how you men say different things that you think that the women want to hear, so you can kind of coerce
if we went on a nationally syndicated radio show right now, I'd tell you a piece of my mind talking about some of you men.
So, but anyway, the fast forward to today, but those just some of the details of why I become so frustrated with this whole situation. Because, first of all, this is my baby, and I'm not going to let nobody mistreat him, and I don't care what the circumstances were.
Okay.
Yes, I was in the wrong. We both was in the wrong.
Okay.
But it's a baby here now. We got to deal with it.
Okay.
And we got to do what's in the best interest of the baby.
Okay, great. I got a letter. Dear DJ Cargo, I listen to your show every day, every time you post. Can you please ask Keisha what was her status about you don't know if you like men or women? What was that about? Signed, George from Nebraska. Hey, George.
That's self-explanatory. I'm a leader. That's it.
Hold on, got another letter. Who in particular were you speaking about when you said you don't know if you like the same sex or the opposite sex?
Who in particular?
Yeah, you don't have to call name.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I got another letter. Dear DJ Cargo, can you please ask Keisha, do she still want him in a way that they used to be together? Also, it's basically saying, do you kind of still want to be with him at some point?
No, because I'm not going to be with nobody that mistreat my son. I can't do it. I mean, that's been over with. It was over with when I discovered that I was pregnant. But, from the thing, first of all, I was wrong in the beginning because he was married. So I'm not trying to make that mistake again, because now I got a baby from it, and now, I got to kind of, be on the straight arrow to try, teach him right from wrong. But from the things that he has done to my child, to be honest with you, he disgusts me. I can never be with anybody that does my child the way he has done him. So I don't have any feelings like that towards him. The only thing that I expect from him is, if he want to be a part of his child life, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to keep him from doing it, but you're not going to put him on the back burner, or you're not going to make decisions that are in your best interest that's going to keep you happy but make my child upset.
So here's...
my thing is, if I start tolerating and dealing with it now, he's going to continue to do it. And Jace is getting older, and like I said, he's already asking questions.
So here's the $1 million question and the last question of the night. You've spoke about your situation. You've admitted you're wrong. You admitted what you said, what he said. Tell me this. If you had one thing to tell everybody who's out there looking at your Facebook page, looking at his Facebook page, and they're not really choosing sides, but they're kind of watching, what would you have to say to them?
I mean, it's two sides to every story. Of course, I know I'm going to be presented in a bad light because I'm the female and I deal with the married man. And I mean, that's fine. I have to suffer the consequences for the mistakes that I made. But, don't believe everything that you hear. And, like you always say, yeah, I'm confrontational, but it only comes, or I only get that way when it comes to my child. I'm not going to let anybody mistreat him. I don't care who they are. And, if in the situation with his dad, I'm not going to allow you in and out his life, because a father that's in and out of a child's life does just as much damage as a child that's a father that's absent out of a child's life. So you're not going to do just like that. Either, you're going to do right by him, or you're going to stay out of his life.
Keisha Casson, I sure appreciate all of your time and you sharing your story with us here in the fans of DJ Cargo Show. I wish you nothing but the best, and happy birthday to Jace. Is coming up. Ain't it's coming up?
December 29th.
Okay, great. So happy birthday to Jace. Give him some liquor, let him turn up.
No liquor to the 2-year-old. He gonna get chocolate wasted.
All right, but I really appreciate you sharing your story. It means a lot, because a lot of people see what you guys type on Facebook and they don't know the backstory, or they don't know your side of the story. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that you use some type of vessel. And thank you for using the DJ Cargo Show, because using some other vessel than to just type on the keyboard or whatever the case may be, and have everybody kind of forming their opinion. Then you got to go back and forth with this comment, that comment, and this comment. Now you said your story, you said your piece, and if anybody want to hear it, tell them. I'm gonna share the link. You share the link to the DJ Cargo Show, and just keep it moving from there, man. You ain't got to be dealing with this. And what I mean by dealing with this is the public scrutiny that comes behind what's going on. Keep calm. And yes, I always laugh and joke with you, talk about how confrontational you are. But I do admit, and I'm saying it to you, I admit that you are confrontational when it comes to your son. No other time have I seen you confrontational. But when you talking about your son, I do see you kind of go at it. Yeah. So anyway, again, I thank you for coming on the show and explaining your part. And you have a great night. And just give my boy Jay's high five. And again, thank you from the DJ Cargo Show.
Alrighty.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right.
Took a real grown woman to step up and do what she did. I think a lot of more people, and I'm not just talking about doing it for the show, but I think a lot of more people need to be able to tell their sides of the story. I don't even care if you do it on the show or not. That's on you. But she took this avenue to do it, and I appreciate that. But a lot of time, you on Facebook, and you kind of going back and forth, and people really just sitting back watching, trying to see what your response to something is going to be, to what that person is going to respond going to be. And then you're going back and forth, and everybody is an audience, and they sitting back wondering why. Don't ever had a full story. And even though in this case we don't have the full story, but you got a background of what's going on. You got what's going on currently, And you even heard her say, and I'm gonna cut this really, really short. And you even heard her say that she will, regardless of what's going on, will continue to allow this man to be in his child's life. She never said that she'll take this child away from him like other women do. So even with all this mess that's going on, all this bull that's going on, she still, at the end of the day, said she wants him to be in her child's life. That's really all she asking for. So I'm not here to play sides. I'm here to play devil's advocate. You heard her story. You have your opinion. This is the DJ Cargo Show. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Have a great day. And remember, when it's all said and done, you gotta do nothing but smile. It's Cargo.